What's up, YouTube? My name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka Wakanda Snatch One, because I got plenty going around. This is my WWE NXT review on highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning or towards the end. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content when I give you guys a full breakdown of my review and not the half of my review. Go check out my WWE Raw review on highlights, and go check out my WWE Evolution. Also, go check out my AEW All In Texas review on highlights. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, WWE NXT was a solid show, and I give it a solid 5 out of 10. Welcome to the Wrestling INC results for WWE NXT on July 15, 2025, coming to you live from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Before they square off in a three-way match for the TNA World Championship at TNA Slammiversary, title holder Trick Williams, Mike Santana, and Joe Hendry will have to find their way to work as a cohesive unit as they join forces to take on three members of Dark State. After Trick Williams, Mike Santana, and Joe Hendry outpinned to paper for their Slammiversary match at NXT The Great American Bash this past Saturday, Mike Santana and Joe Hendry sent Trick Williams crashing through a table with a double backdrop until Darkseid took them out with an attack. Tony D'Angelo will be returning to action tonight as he collides with his former family allies Luca Crespino and regaining NXT Heritage Cup champion Channing Stacks Lorenzo in a family business triple threat match. As D'Angelo and Stacks have continued to have issues with one another since the latter betrayed the former at NXT Stand and Deliver back in April, Luca Crespino has found himself torn between the two men. This changed on the July 1st edition of NXT when he attacked both D'Angelo and Stacks during a verbal exchange between them and made it clear his allegiance lies within himself. Alright. We are live. The show kicks off with a video recapping the highlights from NXT The Great American Bash and WWE Evolution. Big Joseph, Corey Graves, and the Hall of Famer Booker T. Then great audience at home as Fatal Influence make their way to the ring. We hear from Fatal Influence. Alright, Jessie Jane asks fans to excuse her voice because Jordan Grace injured her larynx, but tells Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nick that they dropped the ball at Great American Bash until they redeemed themselves at Evolution. She said she did what she always does and shocked everyone. And Fallon Henley asked that Jessie Jane would be the NXT Women's Champion for a long time. Jessie Jane addresses her Slammiversary Champion versus Champion match for the NXT Women's and TNA Knockouts World Championship against Masha Slamovic. She promised to win the match, but Slamovic music hits and she makes her way out. She tells Jessie Jane that she's only retained her NXT Women's Champion because Blake Monroe turned her back on Jordan Grace, then vows to become the first TNA wrestler to hold the NXT Women's Champion. So Ruka music hits and she makes her way to the ring with Zarya. Saruka reminds Jessie Jane that she already holds two champions in the Women's North American Champion and WWE Women's Speed Championships. And Zarya says Saruka was the MVP of this weekend. Jasmine Nick and Jessie Jane then continue to run their mouths, promising a brawl to break out between Fatal Influence, Saruka, and Slamovic that ends with a ladder three women stand tall. I called this live on Twitch when they began brawling. I called this live when I was live on Twitch. Mike Santana, Joe Hendry, and Trick Williams then make their way to the ring. Dark State follows. So we get the first match, tag team match. Well, 6-man tag team match. Trick Williams, Mike Santana, and Joe Hendry versus Dark State with Cutler James. And this 6-man tag team match, and this was a quick 6-man tag team match. Mike Santana flies over the top rope to level Dark State on the outside, and Joe Hendry and Trick Williams joined in. The bell rings as Mike Santana and Shaquan Sugars get inside the ring, and Mike Santana wears down Shaquan Sugars. Trick Williams and Oris Griffin tag in. And Oris Griffin levels Trick Williams. He sends his head bouncing off the top turnbuckle. Face first, then body slams Shaquan Sugars on the top of Trick Williams. Mike Santana tags back in, and Oris Griffin wears him down. But Shaquan Sugars tags back in and triple team on Mike Santana along with Oris Griffin and Deion Lennox. Oris Griffin sends Mike Santana crashing into the corner and then tag in Deion Lennox. Deion Lennox runs over Mike Santana with a clothesline, then wears him down with a waist lock. Mike Santana fights out of it with a series of back elbows, and Oris Griffin tags back in and throws Deion Lennox at Mike Santana in the corner. Mike Santana moves out of the way, then lands a double stunner on Oris Griffin and Deion Lennox. Joe Hendry tags in and lands a clothesline on Darkseid. Then lands fall away slam on Deion Lennox and Shaquan Sugars. Trick Williams tried to rally Joe Hendry and Mike Santana, but Joe Hendry and Mike Santana level him. Mike Santana flies to level Darkseid on the outside and toss all four men, including Color James, inside the ring. The system music hits, and JDC, Brian Nyers, and Eddie Edwards run down to the ring. They began brawling with Darkseid, causing the disqualification. The winners ends up disqualification due to outside interference. Kylie Armstrong then make her way to the ring. Cameron Petrovic follows. In my opinion, I want to see a dream match between Kylie Armstrong versus Bianca Belair. I want to see Kylie Armstrong versus Jade Cargill. Sign me up to see those matches between Kylie Armstrong versus Bianca Belair and Kylie Armstrong versus Jade Cargill. Sign me up to see those matches. Alright, let's move on. I had to put that out there. So we get the second match. Kylie Armstrong versus Carmen Petrovic for the Evolve Women's Champion. This was a squash match. Alright, the bell rings. The bell rings. The two lock up. Carmen Petrovic trips Kylie Armstrong and flies off kiss on her chest. Then rocks her with one to her head. Carmen Petrovic lands a rock on Kylie Armstrong, but Kylie Armstrong levels Carmen Petrovic with a right hand and follows it up with a scoop power slam. Jordan Grace runs down to the ring and pulls Kylie Armstrong out of the ring and suplexes Carmen Petrovic, causing the disqualification. The winner and still Kylie Armstrong wins by disqualification. So it says the winner and still your Evolve Women's Champion, Kylie Armstrong. This was a squash match. After the match, Jordan Grace grabs a mic and says she isn't leaving until Blake Monroe comes to the ring. Mr. Stone and Stevie Turner run down to the ring, trying to calm Jordan Grace down, but a video from Blake Monroe begins playing, explaining that Blake Monroe never felt like Jordan Grace was on her level. She then invites Jordan Grace to watch her make her in-ring debut next week. But Jordan Grace lands a clothesline on Stevie Turner and delivers a spinebuster to Mr. Stone. Ava and security guard then met Jordan Grace on the entrance ramp. So, in my honest opinion, I think that Blake Monroe is going to take the NXT Women's Championship off of Jessie Jane. I don't know when that pay-per-view is, but I know it is going to happen between Blake Monroe is going to take the title off and take the WWE NXT Women's Championship off of Jessie Jane. Maybe in Heat Wave or I don't know. But I know it's going to happen. But Jasmine Nick needs to be kicked out of Fatal Influence, because all Jasmine Nick do is nothing but smile and look cute. That's all I gotta say. Jasmine Nick does not do nothing in that ring, and that's all I gotta say. Alright, I'm just speaking facts. But let me continue. Tony D'Angelo, Luca Corspino, and Channing Stacks Lorenzo then all make their way to the ring. So we get the third match. Tony D'Angelo versus Luca Corspino versus Channing Stacks Lorenzo in a family business triple threat match. This was a fantastic match. It was good and it was physical at the same time. This match was fantastic for what it was. Alright, the bell rings and D'Angelo fires off strikes on Staggs and Crush Venio. They level Staggs with a right hand and delivers a spine buster to Crush Venio, and then fires off right hands on his head and runs over him and Staggs with a clothesline. Crespino runs over D'Angelo with a shoulder pounce that then then catches Stacks with a knee to his jaw and lands a drop kick on both him and D'Angelo under the bottom rope on the outside. Stacks sends Crespino head bouncing off the ring steps, but D'Angelo clocks Stacks from behind and sends him crashing into Crespino. Stacks dumps Crespino onto the apron and drags him through the middle rope, then ascends to the top rope and delivers a stomp to his spine. He goes for a pin, but D'Angelo breaks the fall. Stacks and D'Angelo exchange right hands with one another, but Stacks changes in a crossface on D'Angelo, but Crespino changes in on his own submission on Stacks. Stacks released the hold as he locks in on D'Angelo to break up Crespino's submission before jamming his knee into D'Angelo with the in the corner and landing sentence on him and Crespino in the opposite corner. Alright. D'Angelo tosses Stacks over the top rope to take him down as Crespino on the outside, then runs over Crespino with a clothesline. Stacks grabs his crowbar from under the ring and hits D'Angelo with it, then sends him crashing into the ring steps and follows it up with a knee to the back of his neck. He goes for a pin, but D'Angelo kicks out. Stacks drapes D'Angelo through the middle rope and looks to land a stomp, but D'Angelo moves out of the way. Crespino catches Stacks with an uppercut, but D'Angelo lands a double German suplex on the two men and pins Stacks. Stacks kicks out, but Crespino and Stacks deliver a shatter machine to D'Angelo. Stacks tosses Crespino out of the ring and pins D'Angelo, but D'Angelo kicks out. Stacks looks to grab his crowbar, but Crespino keeps Stacks from grabbing it and picks it up himself. But before Crespino can use the crowbar, Stacks takes it back and hits Crespino with it. D'Angelo spears Stacks through the drywall and dumps him back in the ring. He chokeslams Crespino through the announcer desk and delivers a spine buster to Stacks for the win. The winner of the match, Tony D'Angelo. This was a good Triple Threat family business match, and I enjoyed this match. And this was a good match right here. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed this family business Triple Threat match. This was the match. This was the match of the night, in my opinion. That's all I gotta say. After the match, D'Angelo stares at his signature fedora drape on the ring post. Following a beat, he decides to head to the back without it. Alright. So we hear from Josh Briggs. And this was a quick segment right here. Josh Briggs gets into the ring and says he is mad. He says he did everything to help Yoshiki Inamura becoming the NXT champion at the Great American Bash. He complains about Inamura getting an NXT championship shot before him, despite having spent 4 years in WWE. Overfamily music hits, and he then makes his way to the ring, telling Josh Briggs that his involvement ruined his match with Inamura at the Great American Bash, all because of his jealousy. Josh Briggs says Overfamily will learn that nothing lasts forever, but Inamura appears and tells Josh Briggs that he doesn't speak for him. Overfamily says Inamura deserves another NXT championship match, but Josh Briggs doesn't deserve one. Inamura tells Josh Briggs that he is his own person. He says he will do what it takes to win, but on his own terms. Josh Briggs challenges Overfamily and Inamura to a triple threat NXT championship next week, and Overfamily agrees before the two men begin to brawl. Josh Briggs and Overfamily both end up hitting Inamura in heat of battle, and security runs down to keep the three men apart from one another. Fatal Influence then make their way to the ring. Masha, Slamovic, Zarya, and Saruka follow. Alright, I cannot wait for this triple threat match next week between Josh Briggs, Overfamily, and Yosuke Hanamura. But I already know that Oba Family is going to retain the NXT Championship next week. I can already see it. Alright. Because there is no way that Oba Family is going to drop the title to Josh Briggs or Yosuke Hanamura. So Oba Family is going to retain the NXT Championship next week. I can already see it. Alright. So we get the main event of the evening. A 6-woman tag team match. Masha Slamovic, Zarya, and the NXT Women's North American Champion Soruga versus Fatal Influence. And this was a okay 6-woman tag team match. All right. Following Haley and Zarya began the action. The bell rings and the two lock up. Following Hanley looks to land a bulldog on Zarya, but Zarya blocks it and runs over Following Hanley with a shoulder tackle. Soruka tags in and lands a variation of a code breaker on Fallen Hanley before Masha Slamovic tags in and lands a kick on Fallen Hanley's spine. Fallen Hanley walks Masha Slamovic with a headbutt and sends her crashing into the corner, face first, then tags in Jasmine Nick. Jasmine Nick and Fallen Hanley double team on Masha Slamovic, but Masha Slamovic lands a boot on the side of Jasmine Nick's face. Jessie Jane tags in and looks to surprise Masha Slamovic with a pump kick. But Masha Slamovic sees Jessie Jane coming and rolls her up. Jessie Jane kicks out and lands a hurricanrana on Masha Slamovic, then levels her with a flying back elbow. Masha Slamovic connects with a roundhouse kick to Jessie Jane's head, then tags out to Zarya. Soruka immediately tags in and lands a double elbow drop on Jessie Jane with Zarya. Soruka tags in and serves on Jessie Jane's back as Abel escorts Lexis King away for his spot in the crowd. Jasmine tags in and jams her boot into Soruka in the corner, then lands a pair of suplexes to her and wears her down with a submission hold. Zarya tags in and Jasmine fires off stones on her in the corner. Zarya lands a flying double clothesline on Jasmine and Jessie Jane. Then tag in and Masha Slamovic. Masha Slamovic runs over Jasmine with a kick to her, but Jessie Jane rolls Masha Slamovic. Masha Slamovic kicks out, but Jessie Jane levels her with a clothesline. Jasmine lands a double flapjack on Masha Slamovic, with Fallen Hanley before the pair land a double blockbuster on her, and Jessie Jane runs over Masha Slamovic with a knee. Zarya then lands a spear on Jasmine. The Colin appears at ringside, and Soruga and Zarya level Tatum Paxton and Easy Dame with senton off the apron. Hank Walker and Tank Liger appear and begins brawling with Sean Spears and Nico Vice. The Colin brawl with Zarya, Soruga, and Liger and Walker to the back as Masha Slamovic delivers the snowplow to Jessie Jane for the win. The winners of the match, Masha Slamovic, Zarya, and the NXT Women's North American Champion Soruka. Alright, and this match right here, this was a okay main event 6-woman tag team match, and that's all I gotta say. And WWE NXT goes off the air. Oh yeah, and Undertaker is going to confront Trick Williams next week, and I cannot wait to see that. Alright, it says right here. If you guys I'm sorry, and WWE NXT goes off the air. Sorry if I stuttered, by the way. I was trying to get my words right. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE NXT review and highlights, make sure you guys please will watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Give this video a big fat thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys think of WWE NXT review and highlights. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys please will watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content I do on the channel, where I give you guys the full breakdown of my review, and I'll give you guys the full breakdown of my review, not the half of my review. So I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. This your boy, B-Boy Snacks on TV, aka what kind of snacks you want, because I got plenty going around. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And thank you guys so much for coming out to my live stream for my WWE NXT watching on live and reactions live on Twitch, man. I got some new followers, man. But and that's all I gotta say, man. I was happy about that. But I will see you guys tomorrow for my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. And too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.